guys, it's Morgan coming to you with the first in-depth video on the 125XC. We're going to be jetting this bike today, working with the Mikuni TMX38 Carburetor. That is the notorious carburetor. Everybody probably did more for Electron and Smart Carb than any other carb ever did. But I've actually found that with the JD kit and fixing the jet block gasket that they actually are really, really good. So, the thing is box stock. Let's get this carburetor off here and take a look and see what comes in it. Alright, start by engine mount off. Just makes everything easier to get to. Here's the thing, guys. On these modern KTMs, this air boot is brutally stiff, so I don't think it's even going to be feasible to try to like pop this back and slide it out like normal, like on an old style bike. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, loosen up the subframe, take the pipe off of it, lift the subframe up and out of the way to get this carburetor off, because that's just going to be way easier than trying to fight it out of there. Alright guys, so got the carburetor off. Like I said before, it's easiest just to loosen these subframe bolts, loosen these ones and cock it up, you know, take the pipe off. Anyway, way easier than trying to fight it out of there. But here we go. The dreaded Mikuni TMX. I don't think we're going to have too much of a problem, but we'll find out. It's TMX38, just like that comes on the bigger bikes, or used to come on the bigger bikes. It does have the super weird needle in it. Let's see if we can... There we go. Yeah, it's got that crazy taper right there, which just goes from like kind of leanish to full rich. I think that, to me, that's what the problem is. But take this out. Alright, we got JD kit 17 to 20, 125SX and 150SX. I called them, this will work. I may have to fiddle with the actual main jets, but the needles are the same. So, yeah, let's open this thing up and see what they recommend. It's nice they do come with some Allen screws to get rid of the little flat blades that come in it. I like that a lot. Then we got the main real part that you just can't go buy are these needles. So, let's see what they say for a 125. So I like to go with the Racing Open Desert because that's a little richer, and rich is safe. So let's see, we're going to be 2 to 7,000 or 5 to 10. I'm going to go 5 to 10,000 because Montrose is right at like 6, and we don't go way up high, close to here, but as soon as the weather breaks and it's not winter anymore, we'll go up to 10,000 feet easy. So red needle, clip position, they're saying 4.5. Here, I'll just hold this up close. There we go, 4.5. So I'm gonna go probably, we'll just go to 4. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go 3 because this is 8,000 feet and above. I always like my needles on the lean side, so I'm going to go red needle 3. I can always change it. It's not a big deal to change the needle position. Comes with a new clip, but I'm just going to do this. So when you're looking at needle positions, it's always, when they give you a number, it's from the top down. So we're going to go 3 down. That on this needle, number 3 position is in the middle. Take our holder. Alright, let's get this football off of here, and then we'll see what the jet block looks like. There's even like gunk down in there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's not all that clean. So if you're wondering ever, this is the jet block. And those two little screws are what are holding it in place. Go ahead and take this main jet out while we're here. See what we got in there. So stock, it's a 470. Let's see what the pilot jet is stock. It's a 32.5 pilot stock. All right, now we got to grab a T10 Torx. All right, so now the actual block that you're removing is in here. There we go. And that one actually looks okay. But again, it has 0 hours. And you can kind of see right there, it's kind of bowing up a little bit. In like no time, that would have been no good. And the problem is, see how mushy? It's just this sad little rubber thing. So let me go grab the good one. All right, there's the good one from JD. It's you can see here, hold on, focus. There we go. So you can see I push on it, it's nice and stiff. It's actually a metal with rubber coating, so way more better. So to get this thing to stay on this, I take a little tiny bit of grease. So just a little bit of grease. There we go. Now it won't come off. And that grease will go away as soon as gas hits it. And these things, you want to be super gentle as you start them. Make sure you do it by hand. Like, I don't even like to use the like a little ratchet on them because I don't want them stripping. All right, now finish it off with the ratchet, obviously, but just go nice and easy. Now, last part of this job is to replace the O-ring that's on the float valve, because they're sometimes no good right out of the box. And the JD kit comes with two. Go super easy and wiggle that out of there. That one's fine, obviously, because it is brand new, but we're going to replace it. Clean that out. There's some, actually, look at that. So, see that red? I don't even know what that is, but it's in there and it shouldn't be, and that's not good. So, all right, that actually took mechanically, like getting it out of there with a pick. So yeah, don't know what that was. Glad we're getting rid of it. Like I said, JD kit comes with two O-rings. One's like a spare. Put that on there. Again, tiny bit of grease just left over on there. We're gonna run that on that O-ring so that we don't tear it as we put it in, because it's kind of sharp down in there. So you just want to go nice and easy. All right, so we got the float valve in there. Screw back in. We're just gonna reassemble this thing and then put our jets that Mr. James Dean of JD Jetting is recommending. All right, and again, what came stock is a 470 and a 32.5. Let me make sure. Yeah. So 470, 32.5 is stock. If we're going to go with the leanest version. They are calling for a 440 for the highest elevation. I'm going to put a 450 because that's what they recommend for 5 to 10, and also it's winter and cold, so we're going to run a little bit richer than I normally. I'm sure that in the summer I'll drop down to the 440, but let's find our 450, and then they recommend a 32.5, so we'll put that in. Yeah, that's what came out, but whatever. So 32.5. Put that in. Put our baffle in. Clean this out. All right, got all that gunk out of there, which is good. Reinstall, and as we're doing this, we're going to put the loop in the overflow. So we got this on. This is obviously the airbox side. What you want to do is you're going to take this overflow and see how it comes off going that way. It's going to keep going that way, come up, over, and like that. And what that does is it effectively raises the level of the overflow. So as you bounce, it loses less gas out here. It'll get the bike better mileage. Overall, it doesn't really affect the running of it, but it hopefully keeps a little less gas off the ground. So I'm going to reinstall this thing, and then let's go take it for a test ride. All right, guys, so got the carburetor back. By the way, say hi to Gary.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
There's G-Love right there. So got the carburetor back on, and I just want to show you guys something real fast. What I do here is I take these lines. So there's the lines going down to go through the holders. Those are vents. Then I take these other vent lines and I run them up here and up underneath the tank. Now they're too long. I'm going to cut them off because that's too long. What that does is it allows for if you go through a deep river crossing or something like that, if those are all down, the water comes up on there, blocks those vent lines, and then they can't vent, which means the gas can't come into the carburetor from the tank. And you'll start for gas, stall, and tip over in the river. Also, mud and stuff can get gummed up in there and stuff, so I run them up under, two of them up under the tank. We'll cut those off. We'll be good to go. All right, guys, so taking a look at the air filter. Again, this is a brand new bike, never even been started, really, other than just to make sure it starts and has all its gears. But air filter definitely has some oil on it, but not that much. It's kind of all drained down into here from sitting, you know, however long. And let me show you something else. So KTM, in their infinite wisdom, they make the filter cage like this with this kind of sharpish thing. Now the 21s, they put a little divot in there to help keep that molding thing from doing damage. And maybe it's a little bit bigger, but still not that great. You can see where it's leaving a mark there. Eventually that's going to tear a hole. So our friends at Moto Minded, Chris Festel, makes these little guys. And this is for the new 21s. It's a little 3D printed dude. And you just put that on like that. Makes a nice rounded edge. I'm going to put a little more oil on this thing because it's a brand new motorcycle. And I don't want it to blow up. So I'm not going to dip the whole thing because it does have some oil. And I don't want to do all the wringing out and everything. There we go. Got that oiled up. Now, last thing I do on an air filter, this is definitely, some people do, some people don't. I don't care about making a mess with grease because it's not going to hurt anything. Worst case, it like gets into the carburetor, maybe clogs something up, but I don't. That's not even going to happen because the gas will eat it up. But I put a nice film of grease around the rim, and that helps to seal it up so no dirt gets by. Put this sucker in here. Once you get that in there, the thing I like to do is reach back in. That's why we got gloves on. Reach back in here and make sure it's sealing. That little tiny extra effort that you put in could make the difference between just having a nice ride and blowing up a motor. Because I've seen it happen. So take care. Make sure you do your air filter stuff. All right, I'm gonna button this thing back up and let's go take it for a ride. And line up a bunch of work for him so it makes sense.
Yeah. Kind of do it all at once.
Yeah.
Nice looking bike.
It's so sweet.
I'm surprised to see the blue in it though.
Yeah, they did that. Because they know Yamahas are better. Right on, G-Love. This is the first real time I've started it. Make sure I get some heat in the radiators. And then we'll take it for a rip down the road, kind of feel how it is. And then I'll come back, maybe tune that air screw a little bit. Guys, the bike feels really good. I think I may have made a mistake by leaning out that needle. I think it might be just a fuzz on the too lean side, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and move it to the number 4 position and try that out again. But I'm gonna leave you guys here with this video. I'll keep fiddling with it. When I finally get everything exactly like I like it, I will definitely let you know what we ended up with for settings. But yeah, that's awesome, guys. That's how you jet these things. Obviously, you might need to like tweak and whatever. But yeah, hope you guys like that video. I hope you get out and spread the gospel of 2 wheels. And I desperately hope that you get out and ride your dirt bikes.